8 interesting facts about the Holy Bible. Beside what is written in it, do you know that there are interesting things to learn about the Bible? Join me and let's know together and learn some of these interesting things about the Bible. These are the list of 8 interesting facts about the Bible. Number 8. The longest book of the Bible. Prophet Jeremiah had plenty to say, and in fact, he even wrote in the 20th chapter of his book, verse 9, "But if I say, I'll never mention the Lord or speak in His name, His word burns in my heart like a fire. It's like a fire in my bones. I am worn out trying to hold it in. I can't do it." Granted that Jeremiah is the longest book based on how we currently arrange the book of the Bible. If we follow the old-fashioned way, the two-part book of Kings would be the longest book. And that would be more interesting if the 5-part of Torah, which is the Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, will be in one book. Surely will outshine all other books. This mega book alone makes up about 1/5 of the whole Bible. Number 7. Some of the first and second books were divided after they were written. I mentioned earlier that if the books of 1st and 2nd Kings were combined, that would be the longest book of the Bible. That brings up here because 1st and 2nd Kings were originally written as one book. The same goes for 1st and 2nd Samuel and 1st and 2nd Chronicles. But why did these books get split? Because in the old days, they couldn't print massive tomes for each book of the Bible. Even if the scroll was big enough for the content, it was hard to fit the very lengthy works in one scroll. Besides, it would be too heavy to manage. So, they broke some of the longer books down into 2 volumes. So the book of 2nd Samuel is really more like the book of Samuel, part 2. Number 6. The Bible was written by more than 40 traditional authors. The books of the Bible are traditionally attributed to heroes of the Jewish and Christian faiths. Moses is given credit for the first 5 books of the Bible. Most of the prophets are given credit for the books named after them. The reality is a bit messier than this, of course. Moses probably didn't pen every word of the Genesis and Deuteronomy. He died before some of the events happened. And there is a good chance that Jonah didn't write Jonah, and Isaiah may have had some help over the centuries, and so on and so forth. Plus, there are some books whose authors we just don't know. Number 5. The authorship of Hebrews has remained anonymous for centuries. Several books of the Old Testament were written by people unnamed. Tradition doesn't identify the authors of Joshua, Esther, Job, and the Book of Kings. Plus, many of the books with traditional authors assigned to them were likely penned and edited by other people. For example, while Jonah is the traditional author of Jonah, there is a good case to be made that some later scribe wrote this satire of the compassionate God, the rebellious prophet, and the repentant cows. The church has been roughly consistent with assigning authors, or at least names of authors, to books in the New Testament. Even works that are technically anonymous, like the Gospels, were so important that the early church leader consistently assigned their authorship to either the same traditional person or a small group of candidates. But the book of Hebrew is a glaring exception. Authorship of this book has been debated for centuries. Number 4. 21 dreams in the Bible. There are 21 dreams recorded in the Bible, 10 in Genesis, 1 in the book of Judges, 1 in 1 Kings, 3 in the book of Daniel, and 6 in Matthew. The 6 dreamers are kings. One woman, who is the wife of Pontius Pilate, who dreamed about the crucifixion of Christ. And two of them were dreamed in the name of Joseph, who dreamed about the 11 sheaf of grains. The sun, moon, and stars bow down to him. Number 3. There are at least 185 songs in the Bible. You can find 185 songs in the Bible, and 150 of these are in the book of Psalms. The Bible explicitly says some pieces of the poetry were sung, chanted, or intended for musical accompaniment. There's more lyric-like poetry in the Bible that may have been sung too. 80% of these are Psalms. That shouldn't be a surprise. Psalm is one of the longest books of the Bible, and it's nothing but songs. And Psalm isn't the only song book in the Bible. Song of Solomon is an epic love song between a bride and groom. Lamentations is a set of 5 dirges, songs mourning in the fall of Jerusalem. But throughout both the Old and New Testament, people will sing songs about God or the events around them, and 185 is a bare minimum. That's only if you count the portions of the scripture that are specifically labeled as song, psalm, dirge, or chant. Number 2. The Bible was written by people from diverse occupational backgrounds. Parts of the Bible were written by kings. Half of the Psalms and a good chunk of Proverbs and Ecclesiastes seem to be penned by royalty. But other parts of the Bible are written by farmers, fishermen, a tent maker, homeless prophets, a doctor, a professional scribe, vocational musician, pastors, and many more. And number 1. The Bible was written in 3 languages. Those languages are Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. Most of what is written in the Old Testaments are written in Hebrew, which the original readers spoke. But not all. Few bits of the Old Testaments were written in Aramaic. The New Testament was written in Greek, which is the commonly spoken language of the time.